For well-known reasons, these past few years have been exceptionally challenging for Huawei's mobile division. Due to severe supply chain difficulties, many products couldn't be manufactured, resulting in significant shortages. The premium Mate series from Huawei was unfortunately paused, leaving the central stage, and various Chinese smartphone brands found themselves trapped in innovation dilemmas. Up to now, no brand has exhibited innovative prowess quite like the Huawei Mate series, to the extent that the demand from consumers for the Huawei Mate series has never waned. When Richard Yu proclaimed during last year's Mate60 series launch event, "Only Mate can surpass Mate," it ignited a resurgence in everyone's spirits. Of course, this atmosphere wasn't artificially crafted but was a moment that had been eagerly awaited. Over the past few years, the Huawei Mate series went from debuting the world's most powerful chip, to lagging an entire generation behind its contemporaries in performance, from being among the top 3 in global sales to slipping down to the others category on charts. Climbing up requires perseverance, descending takes courage. Despite facing blows from all directions, Huawei's confidence remains unshaken. In the Mate50 series unveiled last year, technologies like Kirin glass, beta satellite communication, and HarmonyOS were showcased. Even under pressure, Huawei managed to offer world-leading technology, capturing the attention of global consumers. Recently, a documentary by China Central Television recounted the 10-year journey of the Huawei Mate series, shedding light on the untold story behind the birth of the Mate50 series in such challenging circumstances. Through this, we come to understand why only Mate can surpass Mate. Huawei's ascent from obscurity to becoming China's #1 and the world's second-largest smartphone brand has been a decade-long effort, transitioning from a disruptor to a frontrunner in the global mobile terminal business. The challenges faced by Huawei's mobile division are beyond our imagination. In the words of Richard Yu, a decade ago, the challenge was that no one recognized the Huawei brand, no one knew about Huawei. But today, after 10 years, we have accumulated numerous core technologies and capabilities. However, we don't have products to offer to everyone. Let's rewind to the year 2020. Core technologies were restricted, the supply chain was constrained, and our market share was continuously eroded. Even Huawei's terminal business experienced a drastic decline in revenue, almost a halving, resulting in significant losses among our channel partners. In a state of helplessness, Honor chose to independently set forth on its own path. These past 2 years of experiencing the darkest moments have pushed Huawei to a historical low point. But for a fiercely innovative company like Huawei, which places technology at its core belief, sinking into oblivion is simply not an option. No matter the magnitude of difficulties, we must remain steadfast and keep moving forward until we see the dawn. As a representative of China's tech enterprises, Huawei's achievements today are deeply intertwined with nearly 3 decades of continuous efforts and investments amounting to billions of dollars in innovation and research and development. It's known that Huawei has invested approximately 845 billion renminbi in R&D over the past decade, with an annual investment of over 20 billion renminbi in basic research alone. Simultaneously, over half of Huawei's employees are engaged in research and development. In 2021, there were around 107,000 individuals engaged in research and development at Huawei, accounting for approximately 54.8% of the total company workforce. From October 22, 2020, to September 6, 2022, after waiting for 684 days, the Huawei Mate50 series finally met consumers. After more than 2 decades of strategic planning, the beta system evolved from an idea to reality, and Huawei for the first time integrated the complexity of satellite terminals into a smartphone. Now, the Mate60 Pro sets off with even greater vigor, continuing the myth of why only Mate can surpass Mate. On August 29, the official Huawei Terminal Weibo account announced the launch of the Huawei Mate60 Pro Pioneer Program. At 12:08 p.m., the Huawei Mate60 Pro was made available on the official store, with the 12GB plus 512GB version priced at 6,999 renminbi. Being Huawei's flagship model for the pre-release sales strategy, the Mate60 Pro exhibits sincerity in both price and specifications. It's noteworthy that the Mate60 Pro comes in 4 colors: elegant river cyan, white sand silver, southern glutinous purple, and elegant elegance black. Even more exciting, the Mate60 Pro is powered by the brand new Kirin 9000S chip, supporting 5G networks. With this thrilling debut, Huawei seems to be ready to welcome the next moment of triumph. The Mate 60 Pro didn't adopt the anticipated notch design but rather features a punch-hole display. At the top center of the screen, there's a hole designed, which, according to specifications, likely houses a sensor, a 3D TOF lens, and a front-facing camera. The approach taken is completely different from that of the iPhone 14 Pro. Official specifications reveal that the Mate 60 Pro supports both 3D facial unlocking and under-display fingerprint unlocking. The overall solution aligns with the under-display fingerprint variant of the Mate 30 Pro from previous years. Thanks to new sensors, the Mate 60 Pro also supports smart functions such as AI-based air gestures, intelligent touchless payment, and the ability to keep the screen on while the user is looking at it. The Mate series has always been Huawei's flagship lineup, so what most people are interested in is the processor and communication capabilities of the Mate 60 Pro. It is powered by the new Kirin chip, the Kirin 9000S. The chip's clock frequency ranges from 418 MHz to 2.15 GHz. With the highest clock frequency of the big core likely being 2.15 GHz. The GPU is Huawei's proprietary Mali G910, and the manufacturing process is indicated as 5 nanometers. The foundry responsible for manufacturing this chip is yet to be confirmed. Based on analysis, it's possible that the 9000S isn't actually on a 5 nanometers process but rather on SMIC's N+2 process. The camera module maintains the ring arrangement, with 3 lenses, a wide-angle, ultra-wide-angle, and periscopic telephoto lens. It includes a 50MP primary lens with optical image stabilization, a 12MP ultra-wide-angle lens, and a 48MP periscopic lens. The primary lens continues the acclaimed variable aperture design from the previous generation. For the display, the Huawei Mate 60 Pro features a 6.82-inch OLED panel. According to leaked information, this OLED panel is from BOE and has a peak brightness of 2000 nits, along with support for high-frequency PWM dimming. Regarding the external features, the Mate 60 Pro incorporates the new Kuanping Glass 2.0. Compared to the Mate 50 Pro, it offers higher hardness and improved drop resistance. The battery capacity has been increased to 5000 mAh, with wired fast charging upgraded to 88W and wireless fast charging improved to 50W. It also supports 20W reverse wireless charging. However, in the fan community, besides the question, does it have 5G? The next most pressing concern about the Huawei Mate 60 series is none other than satellite phone. Yes, you heard that right, satellite phone. Being the world's first mainstream smartphone capable of making satellite calls, the Huawei Mate 60 Pro has truly broken new ground compared to the previous generations of one-way satellite messages and two-way satellite messages. It is equipped with a satellite communication processor customized by a research institute under CETC, specifically for Huawei, supporting Tiantong satellite communication. Tiantong satellite is the only satellite in China that supports voice calls, as well as short messages and data services. It is exclusively operated by China Telecom. This means that China Telecom users can utilize the satellite calling feature of the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. On August 29, Huawei's Terminal BG CTO, Li Xiaolong, stated on Weibo, currently, only China Telecom cards support Tiantong satellite calling function, and you can apply for activation through the China Telecom app. During the 2022 World Telecommunication Day, China Telecom launched the Tiantong Card product. Telecom users can use Tiantong terminals without changing their cards or numbers. This is akin to a dual-mode terminal. While in areas with cellular network coverage, it functions like a regular smartphone, connecting to 4G per 5G networks. When in regions without cellular network coverage, such as deserts or oceans, or during natural disasters causing mobile network disruptions, even without ground network signals, you can still make and receive satellite calls. You can also freely compose satellite messages and choose multiple location information to generate trajectory maps. Tiantong satellite services achieve comprehensive communication network coverage over Chinese territory and territorial waters, filling in areas where existing communication cannot reach. Previously, it has been applied in applications such as marine fisheries, emergency rescue, tourism exploration, and the Internet of Things. As the world's first mainstream smartphone supporting satellite calls, this single breakthrough signifies a significant technological shift and sets the stage for the interconnected world of 6G. Possibly due to some well-known reasons, the packaging of the Mate 60 Pro even labels it as a satellite mobile terminal, instead of a digital mobile phone. For Huawei, the Mate 60 Pro is undoubtedly a milestone device. On one hand, the release timing of the Mate 60 series aligns with the point at which all models of the Mate series have collectively shipped over 100 million units. This not only marks a milestone for Huawei but also for high-end smartphones in China. On the other hand, the Mate 60 Pro might serve as Huawei's first flagship model to reboot the 5G network after sanctions, symbolizing Huawei's entry into a new phase. Regardless of whether the Mate 60 series eventually welcomes the return of the Kirin chip, it won't prevent this generation of Mate from becoming a bestseller. After all, in the days of lagging performance, Huawei has evolved from a simple performance rivalry to placing a focus on user experience. The more mature HarmonyOS 4, the more intelligent Pangolin Universal Large Model, and the globally leading satellite communication collectively shape a superior Mate 60 series. Alongside the Mate 60 Pro, a brand new promotional film titled To the Unstoppable Power was also released. The film takes a retrospective look at the classic designs of the past two generations of Mate smartphones, the Mate 40 series with its summer desert imagery and the Mate 50 series featuring Kuanping glass. The Mate 60 series marks a new beginning. The design inspiration for the Mate 60 Pro comes from the Yarlung-Zhanghua River, also known as the Brahmaputra River. This river, located in southwestern Tibet, China, is one of the world's highest rivers in terms of elevation. It originates from the Jimayang-Zhongzong Glacier and flows from west to east through the southwestern part of Tibet. The Mate 60 draws inspiration from this river, which is closely related to Huawei's experiences over the past couple of years. The Yarlung-Zhanghua Grand Canyon, the largest bend of the Yarlung-Zhanghua River, is a place of tumultuous rapids and hazardous terrain. This moment belongs to domestic smartphones, once again shining a spotlight on Huawei. According to the latest report from market research firm Counterpoint Research, in the second quarter of 2023, the shipment volume of the Chinese smartphone market declined by 4%, with Apple and Huawei defying the trend and experiencing growth. Quietly, Huawei has once again risen to the top tier of the market, engaging in direct competition with Apple and Samsung. In the midst of a cold spell in the consumer market, Huawei has managed to achieve growth, despite having slightly lagging core specifications. This demonstrates that there is still an expectation for genuinely high-end products in the market. The positive market feedback has further boosted Huawei's confidence and reinforced their determination to overcome all obstacles. After enduring numerous setbacks, Huawei has finally brought the Kirin chip and 5G network back to the smartphone market. The scene of the Mate 60 Pro's launch causing a frenzy of anticipation among consumers further verifies the yearning for Huawei. What are your thoughts on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro that we've introduced today? Feel free to leave your comments, and we'll see you in the next video.